Yeah, fellows, welcome to the show this morning. On my last video, or actually on the video, How to Text a Girl, got some questions here. Supreme, you should write a book called The Game, or at least The Real Game. Well, I wrote several books, one called 7 Steps. It teaches you the real game. But 7 Steps is now a program. I no longer have the book. The book came with audio, the audio version and all that stuff. Let's see. Next one, Bowie says, it's like the book Pimp by Iceberg Slim stated, you gotta learn to be icy. Don't walk around with stupid ass smiles, smirks, or dumbfounded looks. Keep your expression icy and cold. That's the only way people will know to take you serious and not fuck around over you. It's also a call for respect from women. Actually, for people in this community, walk around icy cold will make you look super creepy. Okay? That's where you got to learn to separate fiction from reality. Pimp is a fiction book. Okay? I read the book myself, and it's a fiction book, and we cannot apply fiction to reality. Okay? Like, I learned where the pickup artists got their game from. You're not going to believe where it came from. Okay, if you guys go back and watch the first season of Married with Children, you'll see the same opener they fucking tried to use in there. The one where they have a friend that moves out of town and they want to see other people. Married with Children. This is before the pickup artists, by the way. This is going back to the 90s. The pickup artists are about 2004. They started coming out. All right? So we're going back to the early 90s. And that's where they got their fucking game from. No wonder why Bud Bundy on there, the character Bud Bundy, was doing commercials for them. For the movie, in other words, or for some of the pickup artists. They took some of their game from there. From a fucking TV show. I was meaning to tell you guys about that, because I downloaded the entire first season, and second season, third season. I got most of the seasons right now. I'm going to start watching those for fun, because I really enjoyed those shows. All right, let's get back on point now. I know from personal experience, as soon as I step in the room, my demeanor demands respect from everybody. The women instantly become submissive, and I feel like a king. Beautiful feeling. Question, Supreme. I've been sleeping with this chick for a few weeks, but now I'm ready to drop her and move on. What's the best way to do that without hurting her feelings? Okay, this is where you realize by now, Bowie, that you've been living in a fantasy world. If you think there's a way to break up with a girl without hurting her feelings, then you're living in a fantasy world. Okay. Also, recognize that as cowardly. Also, you're trying to run away from hurting someone's feelings, from being the bad guy. So that's where you got to learn to separate fiction from excuse me, reality, Bowie. Okay. And he goes on, and why do some chicks flake even though they are feeling you? Well, they're feeling someone else better. You may believe they're feeling you because if you're living in a fantasy world where you think you're like this pimp god and everybody bows down to you because of that book you read, then you're getting flakes. That's not congruent with reality. Okay? If you were the pimp god out there, they wouldn't be flaking. I'm not trying to come down on you, but just wake you up to some reality. The book Pimp by Iceberg Slim, when I was on the Pimps Network, fucked up a lot of young Caucasian males out there. They read that book and tried to walk around all icy cold and stuff like that. And it wasn't congruent with reality. They just became creepy nerds. Alright. Why do some chicks flake? Okay. Is it because they are shy or what? Nope. Alright, I think we solved that. They don't flake on people they truly respect. See, you got to learn to see reality there, Bowie. They don't flake on people they respect. If you were Brad Pitt, do you think she would flake on a date with Brad Pitt? Also, are you sure they're flakes and not valid uh, excuses, like her mother's in the hospital. And I've seen that a lot with the more weirder type of guys that come to this community. That's why I don't talk about macking. I don't talk about any of that other higher level stuff, because they got in some of these Caucasian guys' heads and they got really weird with it. And the girls, girls have like valid excuses. My mom just died, and they're gonna try to be icy cold and shit on the bitch and shit like that. It doesn't work that way. Also, some black guys doing the same thing. They thought they should be, uber pimps. Be all pimp tight with everything they do and shit. And it just wasn't congruent with reality. All right. Alexander Mack. Thanks once again, player. And yes, I ended up going on a date with a chick I'd text. Only issue is I kind of messed up by acting sweet with her. And I know I'm not much of a challenge. Nice guys finish last. And yes, they do. Yes, they do, fellas. Nice guys do finish last. I'm sorry. If you're one of those guys that think that, okay, when you get the girl, you can be sweet to her, keep doing what you're doing and keep getting the results you're getting. While someone else is fucking your bitch behind your back, she's doing every nasty, freaky thing that you wish you could do with her. Because he came in the right way and took control. But no, you were too nice, trying to be nice and sweet. All right. He writes, now we don't text as often. I came off as the nice guy with her. Yeah, she's not interested. And there's no coming back. I know what you're going to ask. There's no coming back. So I'm not sure if I should just stop talking to her or either come at her differently. I'm thinking of just trying to stop trying. That's what I recommend. Since I already came out looking like a bitch acting sweet. I mean, I guess I learned my mistakes and it won't happen again. Thanks anyway, and by the way, I'm soon to go over to that chick's house. I know she wants nothing but sex with me, as I do as well. Good luck on that one. Carlos Robello. Robeledo. How can I get your book, Player Supreme? Inbox me, please. I am power motivated. I want to be a Mac. Okay. I always leave the description, or in the description box, I always leave a link to my store. Go there and you can see what I have to offer. All right. Unfortunately, a lot of guys have a wrong idea about the game. They read from like fiction books and stuff like that, so they come across the wrong way, trying to be this, trying to be that, when it's not really, I hate to use the word, but congruent. I hate to use it again. It doesn't really fit reality. And I've seen that a lot. And most of it's caused by the people's fear. If you got fear inside, you're going to be afraid that people aren't respecting you, that she's flaking on you, when really, in some situations, the girl wasn't. This is what I've seen with other people. Not people today, but other people. Okay? And dealing with them, they're emailing me and stuff like that and getting into it. And people think that you got to be pimp hard. The only time I was hard on a bitch was when it was time to shit on her. She acted up a little bit. Okay? That I don't take. I don't take disrespect. But until then, I like to be fun. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I'd rather laugh than try to sit there and hold a pimp, hard, cold demeanor. Yeah, bitch. Shut the fuck up. I'd rather have fun. Life is meant to be enjoyed, not to sit there and pretend to be something you're not. So trying to be all pimp cold inside when you're not, that's not reality. Because eventually you'll crack and you'll slip. Okay? So I suggest you guys be the natural person that you were meant to be. Not this person that you created yourself also. A lot of you guys who are the nerds, you created that yourself. You did that yourself. Think back to your indoctrination in high school. That's where you started retreating inside yourself and getting more weird and creeper, got into games and whatever else. Instead of being more active, playing sports, learn to socialize yourself, you retreat into a certain realm, mental realm. Then from there, you stood back all high and mighty. I did the same thing. I don't like jocks. They're stupid, dumb animals. Yeah. Let's see if that sounds familiar to some of you guys. That's the only reason why I didn't play football again in high school. When I got to they split us up in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. Okay, so when I got to the actual high school, I didn't play football because I remember I woke up. And I saw the movie Clockwork Orange. I guess it was my 8th grade. I thought it was 7th grade, but I think it was 8th grade. No, 9th grade. It was actually 9th grade. So I guess I was a little bit older than I think back on it. Huh. So I was about 14. Somewhere in there. Okay? And all I did, I should have played football, though. Okay? I wouldn't have had the troubles I had in high school. Crushed on a girl. Creeping across the goddamn campus. Exploding my brains out. That means, getting math smart. Some math was easy for me after I relaxed. I had struggled in geometry, and this one dude said, make a game out of it. So I was getting F's, and I think it was due to lack of interest. But I turned it around. I became the teacher assistant before the end of our semesters lasted all year. Well, they had the first half, and then the second half, and by the end of the year, I was a teacher's assistant in geometry, and I loved it. In fact, I loved geometry so much I wanted to pattern my life after geometry because I saw it in everything. It just like exploded. I would look at corner of a piece of glass. I said, I bet I could figure out the actual dimensions of that glass, which you can do with geometry. So anyway, I know I made myself weird. So high school seems to be like the traumatic time period where a lot of you other guys made yourself weird, and that's where you should have actually been trying to my new word, uncreepify yourself and become more social. And that's what I should have did. Instead of retreating into the world, thinking I'm smarter than everyone around me, at least within my own race. And actually, there's one Caucasian fellow I met that I think is a little bit smarter than I am, but I've met too many people who can outthink me. If I go learn something, I've always been able to outdo people around me in the same class. So I guess I got a pretty good set of brains there, but that's what made me weird. Is I was thinking from my brains too much. And I suggest you guys who are like that, come off your high horse. All you're doing is push yourself away from the central band where people exist. Okay? That just makes you weirder. And then you realize you're alone, you get lonely, but you pretend like you're not lonely. I've done that one. Still crushed on the girl across the classroom, hoping she wouldn't notice you and feel your love. How many of you guys are like that? I say this is the year that we put that shit to rest. At least for the members of my channel. I want all of you guys to put that bullshit to rest, and let's get you a starter hoe. A girl you can start working with and learning to be social. Okay? I'm going to keep harping on that until all of you guys do it. Every last person who's listening to me on this channel. Peace.